Yes, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Disclosures of the Third Kind. Today we're going to be looking at two photographs side by side and noticing similarities we see between them. What's interesting is as more and more cases come forward, we start to notice consistencies among them all, which suggests that there's not a massive hoax being perpetrated, but that these things are actually happening and people are seeing these same things around the world. So, should we get into the case? Well, two cases, let's do it. First one, can you see above me here? This was taken in 1950 in McMinnville by Paul Trent. Now, him and his wife were on the farm, working the farm that day. He looks up, sees something hovering off in the distance. Unsure of what it is, he runs in to get his camera because he likes tinkering with I don't know what camera he used. It probably was a box brownie or something like that. So he likes tinkering. Ran in to get his camera. While his wife was studying this object, it was just hovering. Came back, snapped these two photographs of the object. As you can see, they're quite clear in this. He reported it to the newspaper. Went into the newspaper in the McMinnville Times. Then obviously the Air Force were interested. They interviewed the Trents, said they were quite sincere, looked at the photographs. The photographs been studied for the last 30 years, up until I think 1979, as part of the UFOs Are Real documentary. Dr. Bruce McMinnville came forward saying he'd studied the photographs and said yes, what the Trents had seen was real. There's no hoax in these photographs, no, dishpan on a string type thing. These are the real thing. The object was hovering about, I think he said 30. I can't remember how. I'd be lying if I said I knew, but he said it was the distance he could judge by the photograph and what they'd said. And it was definitely a real object. There's no evidence of any string or etc. or this object being put into the picture and then developed. It's a real object. From the negatives you can tell it's real. Now, if that's not weird enough for you, here's a photograph from 1954, March 1954, in France. Same object, photographed again. The photographer's name I don't know, but he said he snapped it, looked up, saw it in the sky, snapped it. Now, what's the chances of this being two of the same hoaxes? I don't think so. That's 1 in a million. So your second option is it's the same probe type UFO object. I think it's a probe because I don't think, when you look at the photograph and how far it is, judging the distance and the size, I don't think it's big enough to have an occupant. So if it is a probe, it's the same probe from the same place, observing different parts of the world. One in McMinnville and one in France. I find that really, really odd and very interesting. Again, more cases that I find and more cases that come forward, you start to notice the consistencies among them, which suggests that there is a real phenomena up there that we do not understand and we cannot explain. Like I said, perpetrating the same hoax in France and in McMinnville, 1 in a million, and the photograph at McMinnville was found to be real. So if that's real, the one in March 1954, which looks exactly like McMinnville's saucer, what's the chances of that being a hoax? It's the same object. So it's the same object from the same place, star system, planet, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's been a weird one for me. I like I said, the more consistent cases that come forward, like triangular craft, discs that maneuver with impossible speeds, you start to notice a pattern. So yeah, that's what this is all about, and I believe that's what disclosure is all about, noticing the patterns, so we can finally nail down where these things are coming from, what their purpose is. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a short episode of Disclosures of the Third Kind, of the McMinnville photograph and the March 1954 photograph, and the similarities between them. Do keep watching those skies, because we are definitely not alone. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.